what I would like to call tidbits. Tidbits are going to be things that I see on the internet, things I see mainly on Facebook because, sometimes we're on Facebook. We all spend a lot of time on Facebook or YouTube, and I'm not gonna say that I'm just an opinionated person to the point where I am like downing people, but I decided there was one topic that I came across today, and I was like, you know what, I should start doing like little tidbits about what I see on the web and what I think about that. And if you guys would like to contribute to that, just inbox me on a subject and maybe even send me the link, and I will try and do a tidbit on that, meaning giving my opinion or just even giving a shout out to somebody, or just opening up a discussion to start. So I think that I'm going to start doing that. And so I'm going to start today, right now, in this video. And the first tidbit comes from a Facebook fan page that I'm a part of, and it's called Madame Nori, if I'm saying that correctly. And it's basically kind of like online. It's a Facebook fan page, but they actually have a website, and I will post all the information below. And they have tidbits on the, just different subjects, on celebrities, It's a pretty good fan page, I would say. So one of the questions that came up was, that I saw today that kind of sparked something inside of me, and I was like, I should start doing this. Plus, this is something that I wanted to talk about before, but never, not that I didn't have the opportunity, of course, but never just found the right time to talk about it, or to really just how to bring that into what my channel is about. But I've always said that my channel is open and that you might hear anything on my channel. So yeah, here you go. And if it's something that I feel strongly about, or I think it's even funny, even a funny quote, I'm just gonna share it with you guys. Okay, so anyway, this Madame Nori, again, if I'm saying the wrong name, sorry, she posted a question today, and the question was, would you date a man that was celibate? And most of the people who replied said that they would. Two of the main reasons is, well, and some of the main points were because they think that's awesome to find in a guy, which, I agree. The second was that, some of the people that commented were women, and they were celibate. Of course, the question, I guess, was more for women, but they were celibate, so they said, hey, if I am, of course, if I'm dating somebody, they would have to be with me. And you had some that said things like, yeah, I would, but how long would the guy last? I mean, there was comments about, well, I would try it, but I don't know how long I'd last, things like that. So I just wanted to come on and say, give my tidbit about it. First of all, I say to anybody, whether you're male or female, and you're celibate, you're practicing celibacy, that I think that's marvelous. I don't think that you should allow someone to take that from you by putting you down, talking about you, questioning why are you doing that. First of all, in the Christian light, and I'm just saying it like that so that I'm not, hopefully not offending anyone, I think that, that's the way that we should be. And not just on a Christianity level, but on a safe level. One, there's too many teen pregnancies there's too many women who are just getting pregnant, just getting pregnant. Then, that leads into other things like high, problems with birth. That leads to maybe even abortions, with which some people have issues with. That leads to just like healthcare issues, medical issues, financial issues. Then we go into, the whole, of course, catching a disease, a sexually transmitted disease. Those are things we have to be really careful about. So those are some of the things that we have to be careful about. And then also, and it can happen even with someone who is celibate, but cheating happens, So all of those things open the doors to, or open doors or open avenues or situations that could happen or become because of us not practicing celibacy. I am not downing anyone that does or doesn't practice it. I think that it's everyone's own choice, and everyone really has to do what's right for them. I can't I tell Sue over here to not be celibate. I can't tell one from around the way not to be celibate or to be celibate. That's not my point. This kind of hit on a personal level, and so that's why I want to share it with you guys. And that is that I wasn't celibate. I've had sex before in my life, okay? But once I met my fiance, he actually wasn't. Well, but just things happen in his life, which that's his own personal story, so I'm not going to get into that. But things happen in his life to where he decided that he wasn't going to go that route. He really got into church and just really changed his life around. And so when I met him, he was already like that. And so our first conversation, he was like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and although I was at a point in my life where I was growing a better and deeper relationship with God and just doing my own thing, I had kind of quit dating for a while, and that was an option for me. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna have sex. But then, we all say that sometimes, and we say that at a moment when we're like, I'm gonna get my life together type moment. And that was the thing. So when he came to me and he told me that, I was like, whoa. So I told him, I was like, oh yeah, no problem, whatever. As time progressed, I was like, okay, this is hard, I really stepped out, and even though I know, and I knew, and I know now it was a good choice, but I actually, like I said, when you're going through something, you say things like, I'm gonna change my ways, and you don't really know how to deal with things until you're in the mix. And so it was very difficult for me at first, and it was difficult for him because he hadn't been dating. So, you're dating somebody, you're attracted to somebody, you just have all these feelings come up. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been a long road, a very long road. And we're engaged now, and we will be getting married June 1st, and June 1st can't get here fast enough. But one thing that I can say, because this was the first relationship, especially long term, where I didn't, like this really deep that I hadn't done anything, you know? And I can honestly say when people say, well, you don't get to, you get to know that person better, you focus on other things. And I have to admit that is so true. Some people don't believe that, they believe that sex is a big part of things, and I'm 100% with that. But I have gotten to know someone on a different level. I have gotten to know someone on a level that maybe I wouldn't have even tried to before, just because maybe the sexual aspect was there, or whatever. It's kind of hard to explain, or at least for me it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just on a different level. I do get the questions, is it difficult for you to go through this? How are you doing it? What made you do it? I get all those questions, and I have to say that, first of all, I'm very happy with the choice that I made, and I'm happy with what I was presented with, and I'm happy that I went along with that, because I've gotten to know a really, really great person. And I've gotten to know him, the good, bad, ugly, the perfect stuff. I've gotten to know him on a different level that I didn't, and I got to know him without the lust. I'm not gonna say that we've never, those feelings haven't came up, or you get caught up in a moment, but we're human and we've experienced those things. But you just pray through those things, and we have prayed together about, like, God, just please help us, let us make it through. But it's a very cool thing, though. It really is. And like I said, I do get the questions, and I hold my head up high and I say, yeah. Or people are like, y'all know y'all did this, y'all know y'all done it, y'all just playing. No, we haven't. Has there been times where feelings have just like, woo, yeah. Of course, we're human, but no, we haven't. Of course we've kissed and all that, like, whatever, but no, we haven't. And I'm happy for that. It's exciting. Then you get the question of, well, what if when y'all do it, it's not this or it's not that? Well, you know what? That could happen. But I believe that because we really prayed about it, we prayed about that too. We prayed about a lot of things together. Well, because we prayed about that, we have talked about it. Just because you're celibate doesn't mean that you can't talk about it. We've talked about it. We've said things that we like, things that we don't like. And I'm excited. It's like a whole nother journey. If it's not what it is, you know what? Don't act like nobody that you've been with, that you haven't had to teach them something, or they haven't had to teach you something, or you learned something new from them. Each person that you've been with, you probably learned something different, or found out, you tried something, you're like, I really don't like that. That sounded, other people talked about it, it sounded cool, but I don't like it. So, it's just another adventure. And when you really love someone, sex is important. And of course it has to be tolerable. You would love for it to be like outstanding. But when you love someone, it's just different. And until you're in that lifestyle of living, being celibate, then it just is a different meaning to you. Think of all the people that you went through, and I'm not trying to be nasty or call anyone a hoe, but think of all the people that you've been with, and maybe they weren't great. And then, not saying that justifies anything, but think about all the people you've been with that it hasn't been great, and you possibly could have ended up with the disease. Maybe you ended up being pregnant. Maybe you got an abortion because of it. You know, because, oh, sex wasn't great and now I just don't want to be with that person. Think of the time and energy that you wasted. Think of your body, and that kind of puts things in perspective for me. Like I said, I'm not downing anyone that is not celibate, because I can't go there because I wasn't. But if you want to be, or if you've truly never had sex before in your life, hey, congratulations and good for you. And I really give you praises, because in this world and in this age and time, it is a very difficult thing to do. With our emotions, with so much sexually explicit things out there being presented to us through media, through our friends, family, whatever. So I give kudos to people who are, you know, maybe in my shoes, whether you have sex before or not, but are practicing celibacy. I mean, I think it's a great thing. So, would I date a man that was celibate? Yes, I would. Of course. I mean, I'm doing it, and I think that more people should try it. I mean, that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not downing anyone who has or has not, you know, done this. But it really, because especially being that I've been on both sides of the fence now, I can honestly say that it is really, not to put it lightly, because on a spiritual level it has been really cool, but just, you know, speaking in a general sense, it has been a really, really cool experience. It really has. And I'm thankful that I had someone in my life who, even though I was thinking it and saying it, that I was presented with it, and that I said, you know what, I'm going to roll with this. I'm really going to try. And one of the people who commented said something like, well, I mean, one of the people who commented, sorry, was like, well, you know, yeah, right, how long is the guy going to last? Well, you know what, it's not, even though this question was presented for, you know, women to comment, you have to understand that, and I'm living proof that it's not always the woman that wants to do it, it's a man. And I guess I'm being double-sided, because I'm like, I wish people wouldn't be like, oh, how, you know, just downing a man. Well, a man wouldn't last that long, he wouldn't do that. Well, the reason why I really took on the challenge is because it was presented to me by my fiance. He said that that was something that he wasn't gonna do. So, you know, I was the one who had to really try hard, because he has for a while, so I was the one who really had to buckle down and get on the bandwagon, you know. So, you know, it could be both ways. Though the question was presented for women to answer, it really could be both ways. And I just hope, again, that if any of you have never had sex, continue on that path. If you have and you're celibate now, congratulations. And you probably, and I'm putting myself in the same category, of course, can tell the difference. You know, it's just a different level. Not saying that you're better than anybody, but it's just a different level. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of feeling. It just really is different on so many levels, spiritual, so forth and so on. If you are not celibate but you're thinking about it, well then I think that, you know, give it a try. Obviously you've had sex before, so if it doesn't work for you, then, you know, don't do it. Or at least be a little bit more careful in who you allow yourself to be with. Give yourself maybe even a time frame, you know. If it's a year, 6 months, whatever your time frame is. I personally, ladies and men, would not tell the person, hey, You have 6 months to wait, because some people will wait. Okay, I'm gonna wait 6 months. I'm gonna see what it's all about. They'll start to like you, and they find out maybe they don't like having sex with you. Maybe they just don't like you. Maybe they was just waiting like, shoot, I'm gonna get over here, from another girl, from another guy for 6 months, and then I'm gonna see if she, what she working with after the 6 months. If I like her, I'll stay with her. No, but they don't look what they've done. So you never know the situation. So set your goals. If someone asks, well, how long? Just say, I will let you know when that time is right. Because who knows? You might set a goal of a year, and then within 5 months, you really feel like, I'm really close to this person. I'm really, feeling them. I feel like I'm okay in my mind to go ahead and do it. So then, then you do it. I think that it's something that you should keep to yourself, unless you really truly feel comfortable telling that person that, or you feel like they wouldn't just be waiting out just to see what you're about, or something like that. That would be my opinion and my thing, and don't go back on it. It is hard, it is difficult at times, but don't fall back on it. Keep going on in your journey, and don't let anyone put you down for the choice that you've made, because it's not just your choice. That's God's way. So, and don't let people tell you, well, you've already done it, so you're a reborn again virgin. It's not that. It's you've decided to take an oath, and we have to remember that God can cleanse and remove all of our sins. He's already died for all of our sins. So if it's truly in your heart and it's something what you want to do, I feel in God's eyes, you are cleansed, you are saved, and I say continue on. And even if for you it's not on a spiritual level, maybe you're doing it because, you just want to see if somebody really likes you. Maybe you want to say, you want to stop doing it because you're like, now I'm afraid that I could catch something. Well, then don't do it. Whatever your reason is, most of all, do not let anyone take it from you. And secondly, do it for you. Alright? So that was my tit for tat. That was my tidbit. Not tit for tat, but my tidbit. My first tidbit. And I hope that if you guys see anything on Facebook or wherever, I don't know, it could be something funny, just share it with us. I mean, I'm sure there'll be times when I might just share a link or might just share something just real quick with you guys. Or if there's something that you saw and you want me to talk about, give my opinion on, or discuss, or just kind of put out there in the universe, let me know. Alright, this is your girl Ursula C. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.